Hiya, welcome to LSB Feasters radio channel where we keep great radio from the past alive. And today we are playing some audio from Doug Tracht, better known to many as the Greaseman. He really truly is a one-of-a-kind air personality. In this era when you have 3 and 4 and 5 people doing a morning show together, he did it all by himself. And boy, did he create some comedy gold. He got the name the Greaseman from back in his days when he was on the radio when he was in college. Back when everybody would say, I'm cooking, like I'm cooking with the Temptations or cooking with the Four Tops. Well, to show that he was cooking harder than anybody else, he would say, I'm cooking with heavy grease. And he said it so often, his fellow jocks started calling him the Greaseman. And it stuck. For many years, Dougie T was the name he used on the air, but then he created this persona, kind of like an older, middle-aged guy, kind of big-bellied truck driver with a lot of swagger. And over the years, he started using listeners and used their phone calls to help launch him into bits and stories. Grease even created his own language, so nothing was taboo. He could talk about anything he wanted, and his listeners knew what he was talking about. Grease is probably best known for his days at DC101, WWDC in Washington, where he ruled Washington radio in the 1980s and 1990s. Hey, if you like what you hear, feel free to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel too if you like. All right, let's go back with the one and only Greaseman on WWDC DC101, Washington.
DC101 and Jackson Brown as somebody's baby, 27 minutes before 8 with the Greaseman. A rainy, gloppy, stinking day today. Man, oh man, ugly. They say rain throughout the day, on and off. We'll have a high temperature today of about 67 degrees. Right now it's 63. Hopefully it ain't going to be raining tonight for the big concert, so we can get out there with a minimum of hassles. We'll all be out there, all the DC101 guys. We'll be doing some live updates, too, so if you can't make it out, make sure you got the radio cranked up, and you'll feel like you're there, because the Smash will be there. Young Dave Brown will be trying to slip behind stage and talk to the Who and find out little insights into their likes and dislikes, their favorite color. And I'll be up in the Sky Suite, too, doing the color reports. Every now and then I'll be chiming in with some little updates, so it should be fun. It's all tonight at DC 101.
Dancers have it. You can tell by the way they raise their hands. Students have it. You can tell by the way they raise their hands. Now you can have it too. Sure antiperspirant confidence. Feeling dry and secure when your antiperspirant's sure.
Raise your hand.
You got it.
Raise your hand.
You know it. You feel confident, secure.
Raise your hand.
You feel dry now.
Raise your hand.
You know why now.
Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're sure.
Raise your hand with confidence, America. Come on, you got it. You're sure.
Raise your hand.
You feel dry now.
Raise your hand.
You know why now.
Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're sure. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're sure.
Confident and secure when your antiperspirant's sure.
You've heard it. You've felt it. Now live it. The Wall. You'll never get over it. Mother, should I build the wall? Pink Floyd. The Wall.
We don't need no education.
The memories. The madness. The movie. An Alan Parker film. Pink Floyd. The Wall by Roger Waters. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent.
Yeah. 4321101 is my telephone number. Oh, don't forget to see The Wall. Now playing the second Smash Week at selected theaters. You consult the newspaper and you'll find a place right near you. How about a little, oh, this is appropriate for today. How about a little chain lightning? Money at DC 101 has no control before 8 with the Greaseman, watching them raindrops, listening to the monotonous staccato of the drops on the rooftop. Kind of a cozy morning. Actually, it's kind of neat. If you're not bore-hogged in traffic or anything, it ain't bad when it rains. Good sleeping weather. Too bad we all have to face the living hell of another working day. It's supposed to rain on and off all day long today with a high of about 67 degrees, coming down in buckets at the moment. Right now, 63 at DC 101. Listen.
Voyager.
Now you can go the distance. Voyager Automotive Sound Center. Voyager, when you want more than mix or match components off a shelf. When you want the best automotive sound you can buy. A premium sound system, custom engineered to your car, to your ear. Voyager, for the ultimate kind of sound you can't get anywhere else. Do it. Go the distance. Go Voyager. We're not just a showroom. We're a sound experience. Voyager Automotive Sound Center. Route 355, Rockville, Maryland.
Voyager, yeah, you check that thing out. This week only, you can save 40% on the world-famous JBL, car, oh, God, I'm embarrassing. You can save 40% on the world-famous JBL car stereo speakers. So you better hurry, because there's a limited supply of JBL speakers at this low price. Only at Voyager, Route 355, just north of Goody Drive in Rockville.
Tickets on sale now for Judas Priest and Heart with John Cougar on October 3rd at all Head Company stores and the Capitol Center and Baltimore Civic Center box offices. Washington's hottest club is the Bayou, located in Georgetown on Wisconsin and K. The Bayou is open every night with great live rock and roll. Coming in concert to the Bayou, Poussette Dart, Kill Devil, and Monarch.
Yeah, and keep in mind, tickets for Thursday's Who concert are still available.
Here's a juicy piece of gossip, Barbara.
I'm all ears, Howard.
Diana McClellan, former Writer of the Year, is now penning a new gossip column exclusively for the Washington Times.
Diana always was irrepressible.
Sources claim the other paper was irascible.
They probably thought Diana was irreplaceable.
The Washington Times must have made her an irresistible offer.
So if you have any gossip to spread, call Diana at the Washington Times.
And give her an earful.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, I knew I had to jump in on there. Whenever I hear that thing fade out like that and I'm staring vacantly into space, I know that's my cue. Hey, read Diana McClellan in the Washington Times 5 days a week. It's about 9 minutes before 8 at DC101 with the Greaseman. I'm a little freaked out this morning. You may have noticed because of the way the rain's coming down. Well, you know, normally the rain doesn't bug me, but there was a time in my life when I thought the rain was going to cause me to never see another sunrise or never kiss another pretty girl. It happened when I got trapped on a cliffside when I was mountain climbing. Well, I was with my second wife, Nadine. She loved to mountain climb because her brothers had always done it, Buck and Joe. And so I was there with Nadine and her two brothers, and we're climbing the mountainside, and I felt pretty confident. So I was leading the way because I was the most grotesquely overdeveloped. I was the guy hammering in the pitons because we could get no handholds. We had to hammer in pitons. So I would hammer in a piton and secure my line, hammer in another piton and step on it. I mean, it was slow going, but we loved it. It was a nice day, but in the distance I could see cumulonimbus approaching. I knew we'd get rain before the day was done, and I was hoping we could make it up to a ledge to make camp before the thunderstorms hit. Slowly, strenuously, we made our way. After a while, all conversation stopped, and just the sound of our grunts filled the air. When suddenly, I noticed the piton I had just put in was starting to give way. I could see little bits of granite crumbling out from underneath the piton, showing that it was going to bust loose. And I reached into my backpack to grab another piton, and I didn't have any of the pitons. I was out of piton! I was pitonless! And I knew that piton was not going to hold us all. I knew also that I didn't have time to go backwards and relay the word to everybody to rehook their ropes and go back down to where the pitons were secure. I knew there was only one thing to do. I shouted, "It's finally happened! This top piton is not going to hold us! I'm going to have to cut you loose, Joe!" Well, there's an unspoken agreement among mountain climbers. Rather than have everybody die because the line won't support one extra man, the one extra man knows he's got to take the fall. I said, "Joe," he said, "I heard you." I said, "I love you, Joe." He said, "I love you, Grease. I love you, Nadine." And sure enough, we watched as Joe took out his knife. And slowly he cut the line that held him, the line that was his umbilical cord to life. He cut the line and we watched him drop! We could see his body bounce as it tumbled off the craggy cliffs and splattered on the rocks below. I looked up and still Still the piton was giving way. I said, Buck! Buck, it's not holding! You know what you gotta do? He said, I love you, Grease! I said, I love you, Buck! He said, I love you, Nadine! And I saw Buck take out his knife and slowly start cutting the rope. I couldn't look as the last strand of nylon gave way. And Buck was splattered on the ground. Now it was just me and Nadine, and the rain started, hammered at us. I stood there frozen, shivering. Nadine was spinning on the line, and I noticed the piton was still giving way. I said, Nadine, the line's still giving way. Nadine, the line's still giving way. I said, Nadine, before you cut the line, could you pull yourself up to me? I mean, here I got granite falling out from underneath the last piton. And Nadine made her way slowly to me. Finally, I could reach her. I could touch her. She said, what, did you want a kiss before I dropped? I said, no. You mind giving me the car keys? Ah, jeez. Yeah. She had no sense of humor about the matter, however. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I wish I had a record, but I don't, so let me go to the phone while I get one. Oh, God, it was horrible. Horrible. Hello.
Hello there.
Hi. Boy, you should have been there. I mean, you know, it was a terrible situation.
I'm glad I wasn't on that mountain with you.
I know. Well, I would have had to cut you loose, too.
Oh, I wouldn't let go.
You wouldn't let go? You'd have taken both? Isn't that just like some women there? Huh? I mean, there's no way we would have lived. Either way, one of us was going to bite the dust, and you would have taken me with you?
Probably.
Why, though?
Well, why should I go? If you're not going to go, I'm not going to go either.
Yeah, but that's stupid. Are you going to be any less dead just because we're both dead?
Well, at least we'll both be dead then.
Yeah, but I don't understand that kind of thing. You should be happy to let me go. I mean, to just cut the line and know that I was going up to safety.
Yeah.
You don't, huh? Well, let me tell you something. If you think that that's the kind of attitude that's going to carry you through life, young lady, you are sadly mistaken, because if you think for 1 minute that a husband is going to put up with that kind of self-centered attitude, you've got another thing coming. Is that quite clear, huh? Huh?
That's clear.
All right.
WWDC, WWDC FM, Washington, DC101. Crank it up.
Look at him. Moving like a man possessed. When the raindrops hit his skin, they turn to steam because the boy is just so hot. He's just so caliente. It's about 3.5 minutes after 8 at DC101 with the Greaseman. Kind of a rainy, ugly-looking morning.
This weekend, the AMC Skyline 6 and Academy 6 theaters present the AMC Academy 6 and Skyline 6 theaters.
It was just a habit I got into. Whenever I laughed, I kind of covered my mouth with my hand like this, you know? One day, it dawned on me that I was doing this because I was embarrassed by my teeth. They were really yellow from smoking.
Topol Smoker's Tooth Polish, a special combination of polishing agents and a rich foaming cleaner formulated to help remove ugly yellow tobacco stains. Extensive laboratory research has proven Topol gentle enough to be used instead of regular toothpaste.
My teeth are nice and bright again.
Topol, mint flavor in the blue package, fluoride in the red.
Anything wrong, Jill?
My face, Mr. Adler, all wrong. Dry here, oily here.
You have combination skin, part dry, part oily. I recommend Cuticura medicated soap.
Cuticura?
For combination skin. It has cleansers to penetrate beneath dirt and lift out oil, conditioners to help dry patches feel soft and smooth, and bacteria fighters.
Well, I'll try.
Use only as directed. Your mood's improved this week, Jill.
So's my complexion, thanks to you and Cuticura.
For all-season traction and dependable starting power, get tires and batteries on sale. Plus,
Confidence. We install it at Sears.
now Road Handler all-season radial tires are on sale. You could save $68 to $116 on a set of 4. They're Sears' best all-season radials. And save $10 on Sears 40 battery. It's only $39.99 with trade-in. Minimum savings nationally. At Sears Tire and Auto Centers, we installed confidence. You can count on Sears.
Yeah, buddy, I'm on the way. It's about 6 minutes after 8 at DC101 with the Greaseman. Only Washington's original concert station, DC101, can bring you The Who, Who like we will. With exclusive live show reports, original limited edition Who concert shirts, the DC101 banner contest with the biggest and best banner. The people that make the biggest ones get more than $100 in concert tickets. That's more than $100 in concert. We ain't fooling around. And, of course, the world premiere of a just completed Who special Thursday night at 10 with unreleased interviews with Keith Moon and Pete Townsend and other Who members. As usual, the best Who concert coverage is coming from Washington's best rock, DC101. The Greaseman in charge is 8 minutes after 8. Let's do DC Star. Springsteen off his new thing. That's Atlantic City. It's 18 minutes after 8 at DC101 with the Greaseman there. I think I'll go home and go to bed today. Gear up for the concert tonight. Get some good sleep. I didn't sleep too much last night. A little noisy. Well, I don't sleep long. I sleep in shifts. I sleep in the daytime, and then I sleep in the nighttime. And sleeping in the daytime is a drag sometimes because people are noisy in the daytime. I try to sleep about 2 o'clock in the afternoon till about 6 and rest up and people are always outside, cutting grass, running lawnmowers. Geez, it was worse in Florida. Down there, everybody was big with those model airplanes, those kind with the remote control. And there I am trying to sleep, and all afternoon I'm hearing, as these people are doing loop-de-loops with their figure airplanes, and it started to bug me. It really started to bug me. I talked to them about one time, but they said, hey, what are we supposed to do? Do it at convenience or at our convenience? We're not disturbing the peace. It's too. I said, all right. And I got my 4-wheel drive and I left. And I called a buddy of mine. And I got my own plane made up. With a .22 caliber gun mounted on it. I painted it black. And I put foreboding-looking red crosses on the wings. And I know it was illegal, but I had a super powerful radio transmitter to control this plane. And I waited until those maggots got out in the field. These guys love their planes. They live for their planes. You ever seen one of those clubs? Those people have those remote control planes. They spend thousands of dollars on those planes. They're expensive. And they're always real careful with them. They land them like real planes. Oh, they're just so wonderful. I took my plane out with it. And I took out my binoculars and I watched. I watched until all their planes were airborne. And then I launched my plane. My special plane. Sure enough, I flew it to where their planes were. I got my plane in position right behind one of theirs. And I opened fire. Direct hit. The plane spiraled. A little plume of black smoke came out of the gas tank and then... They were flabbergasted. They started looking all around. They wondered, where's this plane coming from and who's controlling it? But they couldn't see me because I was in the woods with my extra powerful radio transmitter. These maggots. $2,000 worth of aeroplane lying on the ground. The guy ran over to his plane. He was whimpering, oh, God, who did this? Who did this? The other guys were trying frantically to land their planes and get out of there, but it was too late because my plane was too big, too fast, and too deadly. After a while, I really got to enjoy it. I got to enjoy the destruction. I was sitting there in the woods with spittle coming out of my lips as I tracked down those planes. The last plane was landing. I couldn't turn around fast enough. The guy picked it up, threw it in the trunk of his car, and he took off. But by this time, I wasn't stopping at just the planes. I wanted butt. I wanted a piece of their butt. And as he drove away, I moved in with my black ace. Another direct hit on the gas tank. I hit the button for the plane to return, and it wouldn't come back. It just kept flying around. I hit the button for the plane. It still kept going, and then slowly it turned of its own volition. I hit the button for it to decrease altitude, and it increased altitude. And then it started coming straight for me. I hit the stop. I hit the auto-destruct. Nothing. The controls were dead in my hand. It was then that I realized that I could no longer control the plane. It swooped in low and made a diving run at me. Fortunately, I dove into some bushes and I didn't get hit. It was then that I realized the plane had a mind of its own. It was a plane of death, completely out of control. I looked around. The air seemed cold. I could see my breath. I started to run, but the plane wouldn't turn me loose. Oh, no! The plane was right behind me. No! No! Damien! I found where I parked my van, and I climbed inside that thing. I took off, watching the rearview mirror frantically. I didn't see the plane. Maybe I'd lost it. Maybe somehow I'd lost the plane. Maybe somehow I'd gotten away from it. But then I saw it. It appeared behind me. I could see in the hot heat from the highway the plane coming closer and closer. I tried to duck down as the plane made a low pass over my van. It shot out the back window. I strove for control. I had to get near some people. I had to get in public. I had to get away. When all of a sudden, I lost control of my car completely. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the sound effect, so I couldn't make the noise of the car crash. He was a disc jockey warhog in a long story with no way out. But somehow, he had to get out because he's on the air, and he knows full well that somehow he's got to get back into music after telling a long story about blowing planes out of the sky. But how? What does he do? Does he have one final explosion where the plane self-destructs? Does he have Damien suddenly realize that he doesn't want to blow this man away because then there won't be any more Damien stories? Or does he simply hit some commercials and say the heck with it? What does he do? What does a boss jock do when he's trapped in a story with no way out? When he's trapped with a live microphone and a cart rack full of sound effects. Damien! Get me out of this story, Damien! Damien! I know what he does. He looks around frantically. He knows he's got sounds of everything in the book. He's a boss jock. He's quick on his feet. He decides, rather than get stuck, he'll take a trip south of the border. And maybe he can hide out in Mexico, where people will forget about the story he started and couldn't finish, the story without a punchline. But no, that'll never do, because people won't have it. People won't have it. They demand an end. They demand a punchline. And that was our man's dilemma. How to get out. When he's already started slinging lead, he's gotten into Damien, and now he's south of the border. I don't know. Maybe he calls on help from a buddy of his. Maybe he calls on the man whose chain smokes Chesterfields and wears cheap suits. Maybe he calls on the man... Oh, no, never mind. I'm sorry. Hey, look, all right. Hey, come on. I'm a human being, you know? DC101, hello. Good, how you doing?
All right, I wanted to thank you for doing that.
Hey, that's okay. It was wonderful, wasn't it? Didn't you like the flow, the consistency of it?
Yeah, pretty neat.
Oh, yeah, it's one of my best works. I'm sure I'll be nominated for an Emmy for that thing. Hey, probably get nominated for a Hemi for that thing. Yeah, what can I do for you?
Well, two people can operate that plane on the same frequency.
What, on those remote-controlled airplanes?
Yeah, see, if I go out with that plane and somebody else has another plane that's similar to it, they can operate my plane.
Oh, wait a minute. I was always wondering if it's possible. Could you, like, I know you couldn't put a machine gun on one of those planes, but could you get, like, a...
Yes, you can.
Could you get a pellet gun? Turn on your radio. Could you get a pellet gun?
22s.
Huh?
22s.
22s?
Yeah, didn't you ever see that one heart-to-heart where they're flying around, all of a sudden this plane came out of the sky and started shooting at these people?
You mean like a tiny automatic plane like that?
Yeah.
Can you really do that?
Yeah.
Boy, I'd love to get one of those things, man.
That thing.
That's,
we got two of them, I'll show you.
That's really big in Florida, you know, those flying those kind of planes. And I always dreamed of having one with a machine gun and sneaking out to the field where those guys were doing that and launching my plane and blowing theirs right out of the sky. Wouldn't that be great?
Let's go hunting, right?
All right. Well, okay. Anyway, thanks for the idea. But anyway, we'll be back someday to the bit that will not end. Enough of that. For crying out loud, it's getting so complicated around here. Jeez, whenever it rains, I just get out of kilter, out of whack here.
The Wax Museum Nightclub, Washington's premier showcase of live entertainment, is proud to present tonight, Room Full of Blues. Room full of blues with a sizzling mixture of rhythm and blues, jump blues, jazz, and rock and roll. Then Sunday, September 26th, it's an evening of great acoustic guitar players with Danny O'Keefe, Richard Thompson, and Chris Smither. Coming in concert Wednesday, September 29th, Commander Cody. Sunday, October 3rd, The Ramones. Tuesday, October 12th, Iggy Pop. Wednesday, October 13th, Crystal Ship, a renaissance of the Doors, plus the Liquid Light Show. The Wax Museum, located at 4th and E Street, Southwest, just 2 blocks south of the mall. For more information, call USA 0000. That's USA 0000. Don't miss Room Full of Blues tonight at the Wax Museum. The Wax Museum, your ticket to great rock and roll.
You shop around for the best prices on everything from groceries and appliances to furniture and clothing. But do you shop for gasoline? Arco thinks you should. Instead of just buying gasoline, shop for gasoline. Compare gasoline prices. You'll be surprised to find some are a lot lower than others. So, next time you need gasoline, compare Arco prices, or you could be missing a real bargain.
This is Eddie R. Burrow, your man on the scene, with a flash news bulletin that could change your life in an instant. The crowds are going wild. With 10 million additional DC instant lottery tickets just issued, all Washington gets a second chance to win and win big. $100, $1,000, even $10,000 in an instant. And here's the other big news, Washington. This November, there'll be not one, but 2 grand prize drawings for $1 million. That means $100 winners will be eligible to be one of Washington's first 2 lottery millionaires. So get moving. Get a ticket for $1 anywhere you see the red and blue lottery sign. They're selling at hundreds of locations in Washington. Scratch off the symbols, and if any 3 match, you're an instant winner. The DC Instant Lottery. Easy to play, easy to win.
Yeah, sounds good. It's about 29 minutes after 8 at DC101. Kind of excited about the concert tonight. Me and the Smash and young Dave Brown. We're going to be up in our Sky Suite, and we'll be giving you, the excitement of the Who. Can you imagine that? The Who. Just imagine when they hit the stage and the lights come on and that first guitar beat thunders. I tell you what, I'm going to bring a spare pair of pants, because I tell you what, I'm excited about it. I'm excited. And make sure you're tuned in. You going to listen tonight, honey?
Yeah.
For all the action? You're probably going to the concert tomorrow, right?
Oh, right.
You're going to the second show. Well, we'll let you know how good the first one was, so you can be even more excited about your second show. There's going to be a lot of excitement, and it's all going to be right here on DC 101.